we're about to get really serious right now.
Super serial.
All right, so we mentioned a little bit about this in one of our more recent videos with Jeff. And it was on the DC Universal logo variants.
Yes. Now, this is something that a lot of collectors don't seem to know about.
I ruffled people's feathers, man.
People
They
are
reached
unaware.
out.
It's good.
But the collectors reached out. They said, Tom, don't do a video on this. They don't want us to do a video. I'm telling you, man, this is one of those things where it's like people are collecting these variants and they want the conversation to remain in the ether because these variants are so rare.
Okay, so I understand that mentality, and
I do
I
too.
understand the people who want to keep them super rare, but point counterpoint. If you get something that's really, really rare that no one is aware of, there's no market, no one wants it. You will never be able to sell them. You are the only person who will be collecting this variant if you are the only person that owns it because no one knows enough or cares about to do it. The other thing is that when the community knows about it, when CBSI talks about it, comicbookinvest.com, when we talk about it, when people are putting this information out there, more things are found.
That's right.
And we see this all the time. This is a one occurrence. There were 5 of them found. There were 6 more of them found. In baseball cards, it happens all the time. I mean, there was a guy that had a collection. They're like, oh, I don't know if it was the E303s, but there was a caramel card that they're like, there are none of these that exist. And then a guy that used to own a confectioner's shop back east had a cigar box that had a bunch of all of these cards, and all of a sudden we went from this is rumored to exist, there aren't any, to some dude found all of these and they went on auction for a couple $1 million. So getting the consciousness out there is a fantastic thing for collectors and people who are seeking them alike.
Comicbookinvest.com. All right, CBSI. This is a group of enthusiasts, dealers, comic book collectors that's pushing almost 4,000 members. And because of this vast web of just individuals who are coming together to piece together information, they have put together the best known, the only known list that I was able to find that I've actually been working on for a long time too, like following over the last few years, of all of the DCU Universal logo variants. And shout out to CBSI for keeping track of this. And I'm going to put the description, the links below in the description, so you got to go check them out. What we're talking about is potentially the rarest DC comics that are known to exist.
Yeah.
So first off, what are we talking about?
So we're actually talking about the DC Universe logo, and this is something that there were lots and lots of comics that came out in the 1990s, and these were mostly from, 93 to 96? That's about the range that we're finding them?
The earliest known pack. These were the ones that were put into packs, distributed to various retailers. These were reprinted comic books and comic books that didn't sell. So there's 2 types of comics in here, standard print and these variants that we're talking about in this video. The earliest known pack was December 1992, and the latest known pack known to exist was in December 1996.
So keep in mind right now that 1992, 1993 was when Superman was dying in DC. They were trying to get, Batman, his back was broken. They were putting way more comics out. And we went from having smaller print runs to 500,000 on these print runs. So a lot of times if a comic didn't sell, what do? They bundle them up into a multi-pack. They send them off to Toys R Us. They send them off to Rite Aid. They send them off to these other places, and they sell a multi-pack to be able to get all of them.
Specifically, they put them in packs of 2, packs of 4, and a large pack of 20.
And I remember seeing these large packs of 20 at Toys R Us. And because they were sealed, you didn't know there were piled 10 and 10, and you didn't know what was in there. And the little sticker says, there could be a Batman and a Superman and a this and a that and a that. And you look at that and go, I have no idea. It could be 8 copies of Legion 1990 in there. Because again, they were putting the restock that they happened to have around DC into these just to get rid of them. But when they didn't have 20 comics to put in there, they only had 14, they reprinted comics that were recently on the printing press. And that's where we get these variants.
So imagine this. We have a reprinted comic book that's going into these packs, but they needed more of them. So they go to the very end of the line, the last prints that they had to reprint them, and they put a different logo in the barcode. So these are not just potentially the rarest reprints that exist, because we're talking what could be under 100 print count potentially of some of these books. And these are very common books as well. These may be the lowest print count of DC comic books that exist.
Yeah.
So what we have here is a list, a pretty big list of comics that are known to have these DC logos. The community on CBSI has scoured the internet, gone through collections to find proof, evidence of these books, to figure out how common they are, which ones are more common than others, and which ones exist. And because they put these packs together by month, there is no known count for every single book that they put the logo on. Some of these books are runs, and you literally have issues, for example, like 505, 506, 507, and then there's no 508, and then it resumes back in 509 because that 508 was in a month where they didn't need to reprint. So there are potential ghost variants, things that we don't know if they have the logo. And from time to time, they pop up. And when they do, we're talking one, maybe two,
Right.
maybe none. So we do have a list from CBSI, comicbookinvest.com, of the 8 lowest print known to exist right now, the rarest DC Universal logo comic books. And I think we should dive into them with the audience.
Sure. So these following books, there's only one known of each of these 8 books. And we are kicking it off with my favorite one, Adventures of Superman 521.
There has been evidence found that this logo has existed, that this variant exists, but only one. And this Adventures of Superman, I have a quote from Russ when we looked at this comic book, and I wrote it down. I even put the time. This happened at 11:36, 10:14. Russ says, "This is one of the most ugliest things I have ever seen. Look at Clark's face there."
It's really, really true.
Oh my gosh. But you know
By
what?
this point in the 90s, you have to remember that they were just churning out books as fast as they could. This was right before everything exploded. So, I mean, if you see the arc of these started getting printed in 92 when the comics were going up. And then by the time they stopped printing these in the DC Universe packs, 95, 96, that was when it exploded. That was when Valiant was selling to Acclaim. That was when Marvel had gone bankrupt and got sold to DC. I mean, this is a point in time that, you know...
Exactly. Well, and look at the next one on the list. We have Flash 100. The newsstand variant.
Now, there is a regular Flash variant of it, and that's the shiny one. And
this one.
Not this one. There is an
one.
art cover, and there's a newsstand variant of it, and there's a DCU variant of it.
Could you imagine that this book, it's the second print, may be one of the 2 rarest Flash comics that exist?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy because the next one on the list is Flash number 116. It's just another one. These are common books that you need to be keeping an eye out for. What are we looking at? We're looking at the bottom UPC. You want to look in that box, and if you see that DC Universe logo there, which is actually a pretty cool looking logo, by the way, it means that you found something that may be scarce. Not every one of these is worth money, but if you go on eBay and you type in DC Universal logo variant, if it pops up, you're only going to see a certain amount of people who actually even know that this is a variant. You're actually going to see more people not specifying that this is a variant listing it because of how scarce there are. I think I looked up, there was like 30 of them total listed on eBay. And the ones that were the lower print, the ones that are kind of on the more difficult ones to find on this large list of ones that exist, they're pushing $50, $60 for dollar bin books, for quarter bin books. It's crazy. But look out for that logo.
Robin 12 and Robin 30 are on this list as well. These are not normally books you would look for, but Robin 12 and Robin number 30 have been found in the wild with this DCU logo.
Exactly. And then here we go. Superman number 113. Another one of these DC comics that has Lex Luthor on the cover. It's cool. It's not a key, but this may be one of the rarest Superman covers that exists.
Well, in Adventures of Superman 531, it's the same type of thing because you just have these books that Superman was super popular. He had just come back from being killed. Right? And they just did not have enough Superman comics around. But it's not even relegated only to superhero comics. Looney Tunes number 15.
Out of nowhere.
That's a children's comic that happened to be in one of those multi-packs, and that has been found in the wild with a DCU variant.
We've mentioned in past videos that in these multi-packs, there have been Batman Adventures 12 that have been found in here. Not the DCU Universal logo, though.
Yes, an actual Batman Adventures 12. And the reason why is that the print run was fairly large on that and not enough of them sold because it was a children's book.
Yeah, people didn't care about Harley back then.
So they weren't doing a second print of that one, but still, it'd be nice to get a multi-pack that happens to have a Harley in it.
You know what's really fun? As soon as we made this list, I went on eBay and I bought a multi-pack. So hit that like, hit that subscribe button, comment down below if you own any of these. Like, if you've ever seen one, do you own any of these Universal logo variants? I want to know in the comment section. And if you like this video, we may actually do another unboxing and open one of these on camera.
Yeah.
And that's the list right there. I mean, we just went through 8 of them, but hold up. Those are the rarest ones that we have evidence for. Russ, tell me, do you believe in ghost DCUs?
Do you believe in ghost DCUs, 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 DCUs? Because I actually do. My God, here are more of these. And if you find these books out there, we're going to blow through these really quickly. If you find any of these books out there with the DCU logo, tag us on Instagram. Let us know. Show where it is, because this thing is really, really scary.
You're changing the game if you find this. These are ones that people have rumored known to exist, but there is zero evidence of them.
There's no proof of an Adventures of Superman 530, an Impulse number 10, Steel number 23, Superman 95 and 117, or Superman Man of Steel number 49. There is no proof of any of those, only rumors whispered in the back alleys of comic book shops.
Shout out to comicbookinvest.com and the peeps. I'm going to tag them all in the description here who put together this list, and they've been working on this for years. These are serious collectors scouring the internet. Some of the pictures that they have of proof of these books are from eBay pictures, like picture 3 of 10, and they blow it up and they look at the back and they go, oh yeah, look in the right corner. We know what book that is, and in the right corner there's a logo, so that means that there's at least one. Like, these guys are hunting to figure out which comics have this logo. These variants are scarce. These variants may not even exist for some of these books, but when they do come up, they sell and they're hot.
Absolutely. And we really hope that everyone understands and appreciates that what we're doing here is attempting to bring the knowledge to the community so people know what to look for, and hopefully we can find some of these ghost ones. Because I know there are people who are dedicating their life to finding these, and we want to help out. This is absolutely from a position of, we think this is awesome, and we think more people should be looking for these.
So look out for that DC Universal variant logo. We do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. And as always,
geek responsibly.
Enough said. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you click this link up here, well, you can check out the latest Venom Lethal Protector issue by issue breakdown me and Fire Guy Ryan are doing. And if you click this link right here, you can check out the last CBSI Top 10 Hot Comics of the Week list. We do a giveaway, so you want to check that out too.